Hello, folks. This is Kevin at Good Day, Good Prayers. Hope you're having a good day. Today is the second day of the tampering part of the football season. Tomorrow, Wednesday, will be the first official day of the new season, the 2026 season. And so the NFL is getting off to its start. At 4 p.m. tomorrow, all of the teams are going to have to be below the salary cap, and that's going to be very interesting. Today has been kind of a slow day. I only noticed two signings on the big board. Most of the signings that were other than that were pretty much people re-signing with teams, but there were two signings of note that were kind of interesting. The Chicago Bears signed Khalif Raymond, a wide receiver, as well as a special teams player for the Detroit Lions. Raymond was one of those players that did kick returns, punt returns. Every year he seems to cash in on one or two touchdowns from special teams. And he will also tend to have one or two touchdowns on the offense. He doesn't play offense quite as much as some of the other players on the team, but he's a pretty good ball player. The Lions then turned around and signed Isaac Pacheco from the Kansas City Chiefs. He has been in the league for 4 years, just ended his rookie contract and is now going to be playing for the Detroit Lions. He will be replacing David Montgomery, who was traded to Houston. Detroit got a interior offensive lineman, and they also got a 4th-round pick in this year's draft and a 7th-round pick in the 2027 draft. And that's what they got for Montgomery. Today they have signed his replacement, so that's good for them. Those are the only two that I'm going to go over today as far as that kind of thing is concerned. We've talked a little bit about the silver market, and so we're going to discuss that again for a few moments. The silver market seems to be moving upward once again. It was in the 70s a little bit last week, and it was also in the low 80s. Today, just before I came on here, I checked, and it is at 89, and it has been steadily moving upward. What I believe, and a lot of people, including myself, have been saying that the banking system has been moving the silver contracts around in an attempt to keep control of the silver market itself so that they can buy silver at a lower price. I do believe that the banking system is very weak. There are some people that are saying that the banking system officially went down and was bankrupt around Christmas Day of last year, which is about 3 months ago. I don't necessarily buy that, but I do buy the fact that the banking system is very weak. We are going to see a lot of banks going down. A few weeks ago, I talked about some of the new banking systems that are going to be coming into place. We talked about Ripple Bank, we talked about Circle Bank, BitGo Bank, Fidelity Digital, and Paxos as being the new banks that are going to be the new kids on the block. Many of them are going to be taking over for the banks that you see right now. I have predicted that at least two of the big banks will go down this month. There is a lot of things that are going to happen this month, and the idea of the banking system going down is not going to be the worst of it. There are going to be some other things that are going to happen. One thing, the idea of what is in the food is coming back around. I think this is going to be the third or fourth time that this information has been going around. The last time that it was circulated, there was about 50% of the population that was awake. Now we are a little over 70%. Now that we are over 70%, which is the given number that has to be awake in order for certain things to begin to occur, and now that we are at that point, we're going to begin to see some things. Some of the things that you're going to see out there are a little bit heinous. They're a little bit awful because of the fact that it's information that some of you are just simply not going to want to know. Unfortunately, it's also information that people need to have. So that's going to be kind of like a two-edged sword, if you will. And people are going to have a very difficult time dealing with the things that are going to be talked about. You may decide, as you're seeing this, that eating is far overrated. You may begin to decide that some of the people that you have voted for, you wish that you had your vote back. You're going to begin to realize that some of the banking systems you wish you had never signed up for because of some of the things that they are going to do and some of the things that they're going to say. You're also going to be wishing that you had information a long time ago, because of the fact that the information that you have right now is information that, had you had a year or two or 3 or 4 years ago, would have actually helped you. But right now, the information that you are now receiving may not do a whole lot for you because of the terrible situation that is going on in various aspects of the economy and various aspects of the population itself. And I'll give you an example. Some banks right now are not allowing people to take withdrawals from their account. You have money in some of your bank accounts and you can't get to it. That's a bad thing. Had you known this was going to happen 2 or 3 years ago, in other words, had you studied to show yourself approved a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth, you would have known that this situation was going to arise. And now all of a sudden you don't have access to the money that you need to survive on a daily basis. Other people have the money on hand that they need to be able to survive for 2 to 4, 6, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever it ultimately turns out to be. The thing of it is, it's a sliding scale. A lot of the things that you're being told are happening right now have actually already happened. Many people have been dealt with that you are seeing being dealt with right now. The reason that they've already been dealt with is because of the fact that the conditions for dealing with those people were there at the time that they were dealt with. However, the conditions for being able to tell you what you need to know in the future was not right until now. And so therefore, you're being told the truth. You're just being told later than when the situation actually took place. And so that's going to be kind of a problem for some people. They're not going to be able to deal with that. Some people are going to say, well, that's wrong. They should have told us before. But the situation was not right. The situation was not available at that time. like I said, 70% of the population had to be awake in order for some of these things to be put out there. Some of these things, they tried them, they didn't get the response that they needed to get, and so they had to put some things on the back burner for later on. Well, this is later on. This is the time you're going to see these things. Now, Q said, and this was years ago, that the end is not going to be for everyone. We need to understand that there are a lot of people out there that are not going to like what's happening. It's going to hurt them and hurt them very badly. We have heard about something called suicide weekend. Now, a lot of people are going to be offing themselves because of the fact that they don't want to deal with having to be outed for some of the really, really heinous things that they've done. And those heinous things are going to really, really anger some people. Now, you're going to see some people that are not so angry because of the fact that many of us have already dealt with some of these things. And even though those things do aggravate us and they do anger us, we have already dealt with a lot of that prior to this time. You're going to find out about it now, and some of you are simply not going to be able to handle it. I think we saw that on a few good men. You can't handle the truth. Jack Nicholson. And that is true. A lot of people will not be able to handle the truth. This is Kevin from Good Day, Good Prayers reporting. You have a good day.